Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Qatar. Sorry in advance for being a bit unhappy or grumpy or so on, but BOP is BOP, nothing we can do about it. Some Ferraris have done 37.7 in practice session. My PB of all practices, 38.4, which is 7/10 off. It is what it is. Peugeot has been given extra 15 kilos and it's not really been great around Qatar. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a me problem, maybe it's setup, but setup is good. I don't think setup is an issue. Anyway, hi Mario, hi Arno, hi Liminal, good evening. And as I spoke of setups, you see a very nice logo there. Maybe I will place it in a different way, but welcome to Go Setups. As we have partnered up a little bit for my streaming, so there will be a logo and a link now and then, and I will now and then actually develop a setup that will be available on Go Setups. Thank you, Shiny. But anyway, quali will start for us in 3 minutes. Setup is loaded. And as we wait for the GT freeze, so Luke has already they end their quali at 15, so now it's a bit of a dead time anyway. We have James back. A Toyota is quite decent around here, I think, but Ferrari, yeah, it's gonna be a Ferrari party, and there will be no fast Peugeot to spoil it. Would be fun to have Joe Macaulay, the other Peugeot that has been registered for VMS Season 2, on the grid, but he's not here. So I don't really have any reference if it's a me problem, or a setup problem, or just BOP problem. Yeah, like I will do my best to crush the Ferraris. I fear I would have to go full Max Verstappen to the third power into turn 1, like brake after the apex, run whole grid off track. Let's see how it goes. It's been a long weekend, you know. If you followed, we had the race with driver swaps with traction on Friday, which we won, which is nice. I had the historic Silverstone race yesterday, which gave me huge, how to say, I have never felt my elbows that much after a race. It was pretty crazy. And now straight back into the car again for a high-level race. Not sure if there is anything I can click around to see meanwhile. But I'm kind of looking forward to be done with this season, because the more races I do with this car, the less I appreciate these old tires. 1 minute. Yeah, everyone cannot have enough of Qatar. Well, Arno, why not both? I'm a bit intrigued by the track temp. I run exact same conditions offline and got, I think, exactly 10 degrees colder track temp. So I hope that maybe with a bit hotter track here I can maybe at least do a PB. But a PB would be like 58.3, which is still 6/10 of the Ferraris. I don't know. Anyway, 5 seconds before I can join the fast lane. There we go. Oh, and to add to the drama, an hour ago I had a blue screen of death, as I like you might see that there is a lack of like glucose reading from my sensor. There was a problem, and I think, well, I talked to the developer, and supposedly it's a SIM hub problem, maybe? It shouldn't be a plugin problem, but anyway, I tried to reinstall it. I got a straight blue screen of death, crashed my PC. I reopened PC, opened OBS, like half of stuff was missing, no cameras, no, like this camera was here, the main one, this one wasn't, and so on. So yeah, and then I saw the crazy lap times from Ferraris, and I was just like, couldn't even be bothered to do much practice laps in the server. Either way, let's see what happens. Hello, David. I think the Ferrari wants to go through. It's 2 attempts anyway, if you do the esports strat with smoking tires. I think I might need to increase the gain on the camera after quali. Talbot is fast. Wait, Talbot? I know it's a car brand from the past, but I'm missing a bit of history lesson. Oh, I can feel the elbows still from yesterday. Right, I need burnout. Ah, it was Peugeot. Okay. Well, Kobe, I guess it can do, but I mean, I spent prior week on vacation, no practice, but the setup is good. The setup is as good as it can be, I think. But if I do a 37, I would be shocked. Anyway, here we go. Let's see what we can do. Lost a 10th in Sector 2. But well, you see, not much more I can do. It's just the tough reality of the current BOP for this track. Peugeot should have been given minus 15 for this track. I agree with plus 15 for Spa maybe. Or for Monza, maybe not 15, maybe 10. If it's meant to be BOP'd for like 30-degree track temp. Anyway, we have to return back to the pits. Try again. Yeah, Jake did 37.3, but then it got plus 8 kilos, and then it got plus 15 kilos, and Qatar got slowed down after that Jake's 37.3, like the grip of the surface was decreased. So yeah, like as I said, my PB from practice with a crazy good lap yesterday was 38.4. And normally I wouldn't expect a PB, or well, maybe I would be happy with 0.5, but it's 0.7, yeah. Well, I talked to Michi before the race. I said I expect 0.6, 0.7. I would be happy with 0.5. Well, still P5, but it's a second of the Ferrari pace. Now Toyota is on plus 0, like Toyota never had anything. It was Ferrari that got plus... Ferrari got plus 10 all around, except at Le Mans where it got plus 15. After that, Peugeot got plus 15 everywhere. No, actually Peugeot got plus 8 at the same time everywhere, and then another plus 15, and Toyota never got anything. Yeah, I think Toyota and Peugeot were quite tight around Qatar before, but now the Peugeot is just completely destroyed around this track. No chance, I think, like, in my opinion, but... Then again, I never really wanted to fully esport any hypercar before the tires get updated. Just doesn't make any sense to, like, do crazy research, spend few months fully understanding every single aspect of the tire, and then the tire gets updated, you know. Track limits, copy. That's why we also choose... Well, that was part of one of the reasons why we chose GT3 for VEC. Just cannot be bothered with hypercar for now. But yeah, I mean, before all the plus 23 kilos, Peugeot was fine. Like, I wouldn't complain about it, but yeah. Let's get all the complaining done now, so we don't have to complain later. Okay, there is enough space behind. Time is not running out like it was at Spa. It's funny, like at Spa, if you remember, I missed the timing, like I failed to even cross the line to start the second lap, but the first lap, even though it was not great, it was enough for pole position. But here, 8 tenths off, like, I don't know. One more burnout. Okay. Let's see if there is a 10th or 2 laying around. messed that up. Okay. Well, I think I lost 3/10. Many corners were spot on, but sector 2 was meh. Right, so let's assume I gain 3/10. I move 1 position. Well, P7 or P8 doesn't change much. James Baldwin P1. Yeah, you see, Toyota is not off. It can battle. Anyway, we load the setup. I don't know about the tires. P9. Yeah, I could be battling there for... Okay, with everything perfect I would be P6 now. I got 1 Ferrari, you know. Yeah, I couldn't get... Like, there is this very long right-hander with big curb on the apex. I couldn't get onto that curb. For some reason, I never had that problem before. I guess I just panic braked too much into the apex. And consequently into the weird right into slow left. I just messed it up on the exit. Anyway, my fight is with Fabio, who is the championship leader. I am very close behind. No, I'm ahead. I'm ahead, right? Yeah, I think I'm 1 point ahead of him. So I need to basically have him not be on the podium somehow. Yeah, I'm ahead, yeah. 1 or 2 points. It's extremely close. Alexis, I'm afraid not really. You could download all the cars. Sorry, yeah, I mean download, like you have most of the cars, or like you could buy the ones that are DLCs and then just measure the weight in Motec. Although I'm not fully sure if there's like a consistent way to actually measure. I'm gonna wait to see the track temp, and then this heart on the front left needs to get decided. Look at those gaps. Yeah, like it's perfect BOP for Toyota and Ferrari, and I suppose that many of LMDH cars would be actually in the mix. Yeah, but Peugeot is at least half a second off. 4/10 in bestest of cases. But I'm sure Baldwin could do 0.7 as well if he fully esported this. 32-degree track temp. 31. It's gonna be falling down because it's sunset conditions. Yeah, Giga Strat. Let's see. Wets on the front right for the temperature. So thing is that, not sure if you remember, but VMS Season 1 was dominated by LMDH cars. Currently, LMDH cars are way better off BOP-wise than in Season 1. Like, they have been added weight, but they have then been reduced weight, and then the LMH cars got added weight. So as far as I understand, LMDH cars should be really quick on average, but nobody's choosing them yet. I don't know. James is taking the hard. Let's do a quick calc. because I might do indeed something with the strategy. I'm 4 ahead of Abi. Okay, copy. Yeah, I will need all the advantage going into Le Mans, and then I hope at Le Mans the BOP is fine. We're all... Ah, 2 Ferraris ahead are full medium. So there are 2 possible strategies. One is to go... One is to go till you run out of fuel and then box. The other is to go for a tire swap. Some people did tire swap at Bahrain, I remember. Let's see if people do it here as well. I might as well prepare it. Anyway, let's go. I tried. Oh, I see Baldwin got demolished by the poor acceleration of Toyota. The Buono also full medium in the lead. If you have full medium, it's gonna be slightly quicker in the first laps, of course. wear pace. Hi Xavi, hi Lamush, hi Lazaros, hello. Yeah, I'm having fun, but usually it was from the different side of the Ferrari pack. It's pretty good to relive BOP, right? And it wouldn't really be a problem if it wasn't most of the grid on the Ferrari. Then you get killed by 2 or 3 Ferraris in real life if they are just BOP'd well, but here it's the majority. And then the majority is either ahead or behind. Right, the Buono did 40.4. I think I should be able to do 0.5s. Of course, he has only mediums. I need to warm up the front left a bit extra. I mean, the car handles really well, like there is no problem with balance or anything. I cannot get down into mid-40s. Consistency is there at least. It's really a joy racing. I mean, we have passed two GT3s, but it's still a joy racing against GT3s that know what they are doing when being lapped. That Friday morning and early afternoon race, the 6 hours of Qatar with traction, I mean it was fun, but it's just such a chaos when you don't know if the GT3 is gonna stick to the racing line or if he's gonna brake check in the last moment while trying to get out of your way. Baldwin to be one. yeah, my car is... it's not a success ballast. I mean, arguably it is a success ballast in some way. It's just BOP. With the latest update it got plus 15 kilos. After plus 8 kilos already from the prior update. It's funny because sometimes in like the most like top tier leagues, some people choose some cars that are kind of not meta and show that they are good cars. Like for this, I mean, I don't... maybe I should put the price of being the reference here in VMS to myself, but like what I mean is that most of field took Ferrari because it's supposedly the fastest and best car and easiest to drive and so on. And I took the Peugeot to be kind of contrarian a little bit, not to do what all the others do, kind of for content at least, a bit. But also because I like the balance of the Peugeot. And it didn't feel slow. And then I showed that it's fast, and it can win in some conditions, especially on hot tracks, without too many corners. And then some setup shops or some other fast people, drivers, post some hot laps on YouTube, and bam! People suddenly taking the Peugeot everywhere and winning everywhere, and I'm in the wrong gear, and you know. And then it gets BOP, even though there is not really a great reason for it. I hope at Le Mans, like Le Mans is the last round of this series in 2 weeks. I hope the BOP will be more equal there, so I can actually have a championship fight with Fabio. But for today I just need to do what I can and enjoy a little bit of driving if Qatar can be even enjoyed. I mean, some corners are quite clever and quite fun, some others are pure torture to drive. A custom BOP is not possible, I think. See, server owners can all wait. I don't think. Maybe. I mean, it was a server command, right, in RF2. But not sure if it's still functional. As the whole system is rewritten, recoded. I wish there was at least like one Peugeot. I mean, I said that it's a shame that Macaulay is not here, as he was registered with the Peugeot here. But at least we could have a race. But maybe it's gonna be a fight for P8 or like P7, P6 maybe. Let's see. I really need to stay in the 40s. You mean it was bump to pass for the lead or what? I don't think the damage is really too high here. I think part of the issue here at this track is that Peugeot really hates those like big, not big curbs, but big bumps. Like at Sebring, it just couldn't eat the bump in the first corners. And here in this triple right, I watched Denehan and Grigoletto yesterday in the 6-hour race. They were dipping front right beyond the curb on the inside. If I do that, no chance. Suspension will not eat it. It will just send the car straight, which I did in the previous lap, so... But if you can do that, then it's instant 10th or 2/10 of gain. What's my motor map even? I would even say overall I'm driving better than at Spa, or like car feels better than at Spa. But that's just setup and feeling. I missed a downshift somewhere. Yeah, I really hope that James successfully steals the win from Grigoletto for the championship. Farnelli now dropping, I guess, because of front left. Or maybe traffic. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, good to see that James has the pace. I hope Di Buono has the pace as well to finish P2. Let's see what happens. Is that Michi? Ah, Michi going for it as well. And Michi has full mediums now as well. Okay, well, let that strategy work. Should be just ahead of GT Freeze. So cold left side. Everyone beating or what? Well, not everyone. Baldwin can really go as long as he wishes for. Just cover P2. Well, my battle now is just with Farinelli. He will exit ahead, but then he will have cold tires, I think. Actually, there he is. Well, that has been an undercut. Is that my first ever undercut in the Man Ultimate? Yeah, the tires are quite quickly up to speed. That's a Toyota. It was Kruszycki, I think. Couldn't really see, but I think he's abandoned the car. He was behind anyway. Come on, turn! This double right is one of the worst corners ever. Abuse track limit or run wide. They should just make one very long sweeper. Either way, guess we are now defending. Lapierre has to box yet, and he will be behind. A little bit of unlucky traffic. And a little bit of lucky traffic. Oh. Who's that? Oh, that was a freebie. Copy. Indeed, Jake. I don't want to have this race against Sven. I will need some heavy traffic luck. Sorry. We'll pay for a beer later. Another beer. Stop the count. I'm happy. Oh, wait. No, don't stop the count. What happened to Baldwin? Like, Grigoletto is ahead of Baldwin now. That's not good. Has Baldwin changed all around, or what? Don't tell me Grigoletto is leading. Fabio P3, okay. So it's Di Buono, Fabio and James. I mean, yeah. Lapere is leading, but obviously he's yet to box, I'm not counting him. That's the worst. Oh. Okay. That's nice. What a snap! I just saw it in the radar. Grill tape! Oh dear. Well then James is a... Why would you change grill tape? I mean, I have this 1-to-1 here, but I think that's fine. Was he smoking or what? Like the engine overheating? The solar was hitting 130, oh dear. Yeah. Well, if it was hitting 130, it probably was smoking. Orange cut copy. Here we go. 6 laps of the fence. If gap car. Yes, family, of course. You know, Rafa means race as family always. And that's Huben going very slow. What's going on there? Smoking as well? I didn't see the smoke, but maybe damage? Or too little fuel? Well, he has enough energy. Well, it's not +8 for all tracks, it's +8 for all tracks and additional +15 for all tracks in the latest patch. So it's basically +23. Yeah, maybe he didn't take the tires, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't know. He could have enough energy, but too low fuel ratio. And he's lifting coasting. What is this about? He left the room opened. Who's that? Huben. I don't think I did anything wrong, like I was in the limit, but I think I went for fair gaps. I wish it was one of the other guys dropping off though. Come on. Is it 2 or 3 to go? be free to go, right? Or is it borderline? Loving the fight behind me, although Sven is now into P6. So it's 2 to go, and it's 1 to go. Michi let Jernej through for the championship. Well, you're not really teammates like that, so... Rafa is always a thing. Do I have enough energy? I have. That's it. P5. P5 with this monster of Peugeot. Not hypercar. Maybe it's a mega car, but not a hypercar with these kilograms. It drives mega, but... Oh, that was a good race. I mean, I can be happy about this. I think. I should be happy about this. Why is everything so red? Did I did toggle... Ah, I'm sorry for the color scheme. My light bulb program decided that it should put evening colors for the eyes, even though I toggled it off. It was the blue screen of death half an hour before the quali. I restarted the PC and forgot about it. Anyway, thank you guys for the GGs. Fabio P1. Nah, I don't like this. What happened there? Is replay broken? It needs some time to load, right? I mean, you know, plus like 5 kilos with hypercar is not that much. So this is the Buono. This is the last lap. You know what? Yeah, this was... I mean, I joked about Michi letting me go for the championship, but Di Buono let Fabio through for the championship. It's always good to have teammates. Much easier to win championship then. Anyway, you know, plus 25 for Fabio, plus 10 for me. And I had supposedly 4-point lead, which means I have now 11 points. And that means that if I win Le Mans, Fabio cannot finish P2, I think. Rigged from the start, yeah, I mean... You know what, I couldn't ask for more than for P5 like this. This was... Base was there for P9, P8. If others did a correct race. It was James' race to win as well. But he messed it up with the struts and with the cooling. I'm gonna quickly check the start, if there was something I could do. Yeah, Le Mans is in 2 weeks. I really hope the Peugeot is a bit more competitive there, although I'm pretty sure there will be like carnage with all kinds of rain and no rain and rain again, and yeah, who knows. Fun fact, there was 7% chance of rain for this race. I should have just floored it, or like... No, probably not. I mean, that's it, right? Not much... Nah, this was a bit too optimistic, I suppose. But no harm done. And then, that fight. Where was the fight? Huben is still ahead. I wish these vertical things were laps. Wait, let me change the scene so you guys can see better. So this is now Huben, yeah. So yeah, he lifted there. And then I thought, okay, I'm going for it. I went for it, and he turns in. Like, sorry, I don't know. Like the overlap is of course not as sufficient as it. I mean, by the rules it is. Like, I think it's far enough alongside, depending on where you take the turn entry. But like when you see this on the exit, he's like moving over for me because he has issues. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking the inside. Like, Okay, now I have to reload the replay, but I'm gonna do it. Water. Such a weird race. If Fabio was P3, that would be the perfect test of things, but yeah, I mean, you know, at Le Mans the same can happen. Fabio is P3, losing the championship, but if Di Buono or some of others is P2, he lets him through, he wins. Where were we? So Stanek is broken anyway, so let's hide that. But again, like... He lifts? Sorry, but what? He lifted? And then he turns in on me like, sorry, but what is this? Really, like, what are you doing there? That's... If I protest that, I'm gonna get a penalty because I went for a gap that didn't exist, or like that was like he turns in here where the gap is not sufficient, so like he's able to protest this, but like this is just unsportsmanlike if he does that. I mean, let's not put words into Hoban's keyboard before he does anything. Track cut. Not on my screen, except if there is lag plus bug. But if you do that, you don't just turn in on the guy, you know? Well, no harm done anyway, but... Anyway. Of course I go for it, that's a fair move, and then he just bumps into my side like I'm not there. Which, yeah, that's not the best. And then Farinelli has a go. I keep elongating the corner because it's a corner and take the racing line, that's all fine. Then the Peugeot things happen. Like Ferrari, I think... Yeah, Ferrari can take this line, they can dip the tire inside, I cannot. Maybe it's a setup issue, but... Then I have to defend. And then... yeah, Huben has full red mist descending upon him. Like, that's... Yeah, I mean... Arguably he did the same as I did in lap 1, although I did that, like, this nose sniff into apex in low speed, but he did in high speed, so... Yeah... Racing incident. All good. Yeah, that's a rage quit. Just quick check what happened to Hrushicki. It was quite early on, right? Not that early. Ooh. Ay. Oh. Pain. Oh, that's a big one. But like, I saw the Ferraris consistently being able to take this. Although this entry is really aggressive with engine braking. The rear is always on the limit if you don't have way too high rear wing to stabilize it. But yeah, then if you take the whole curb and a bit of Astro or whatever this paint is, you get a response like that. Yeah, a monster truck over these curbs. I mean, I think I was losing two tenths just in these 3 corners every lap. And then further 2 tenths on the straights. And that's about the gap in pace. Let's see if I'm... if I claim I'm 2 tenths off because I was just too slow. Okay. What should I say? P5 is fine, but at the same time, I want to spam a little bit around to complain even more about the bop. Maybe I do it, maybe not. Anyway, it's been 3 races in 3 days. And I'm completely done, so I need a little bit of rest. But I'll be back on Tuesday for the new week. I don't know what to do about the championships though. I don't want to do the GT3 fixed anymore. I want to work on the setup. So I might on Thursday do this one, but with GT3. Hi K and H. Why is this sign there? Worst result dropped. Yeah, I missed round 1 anyway. I can do it still. No, I cannot do it today. Round 1 is over. But I might join then for round 2. I need to decide what I want to do with Tuesdays. Maybe I'm gonna do the GT3 fixed as well. Just maybe with a different car. Question for me, of course. How long is the Le Mans race? Le Mans is gonna be 2 hours 40 minutes. The finals in 2 weeks. It's the endurance round, and it's, I think, is it even times 2 points? Let me, wait, what am I doing? Let me quickly check something. VMS. Actually, it's on the sim grid, right? Sim grid VMS Pro Plat. Pro Series, the sim grid. I'm not sure how exactly to show it. Scoring. It's times 1.5 and rounded up. So actually, I don't know how to. Can I show it like that? Like for round 8, this is the point. So if Fabio is now 15 ahead of me, it's very, very provisional. But if he's 15 ahead for winning this one, but I was 4 ahead before, it's 11-point difference. And if I win that one, it's tied. But I will have one more win. Actually, yeah, okay. There might be still a championship that we can win, if that's the case. Recently got LMU. What's the best way to get through the bronze license to get to silver, to the open setup races? Well, I mean, if you have the pace, then of course get pole position and drive away. But yeah, just doing clean laps is good to get safety rating. I think the championship races are worth a lot more. Wait. So if you go to championships, then you see there is like LMGT3 fixed. I think it's times 2. Where is it? I think you have to register. I think it was times 2 or times 3, the rating. Like the special events and the championship races get you more. Luca, yeah. Shame for the Lambo. And yeah, I mean, overall, I guess you can get through the licenses pretty quickly. I mean, it's difficult because I was always like top 5 kind of in quali, in top split, so it was always very easy to gain the rating. But I think it's not too difficult to gain the rating, the safety rating, You can have like a spin and a crash and a cut, and it's still gonna gain you a little bit. But yeah, for the start, overall you try to have fun whatever you do. And yeah, anyway, the plan for Le Mans then, for the final round, yeah, get pole position and win the race. Easy. Let's do it. They lower the multiplier. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, like just drive in difficult situations, drive according to what you see. Like, don't look at the road, look at the radar and just avoid people that are ramming you. Or like sacrifice turn 1, like just park it in the safest place into turn 1. Not park it, but like defend the very inside if it's safe to do so. I know that some people just spin through the apex and T-bone you, but yeah. But if I have the pace, I still think the best way is just to try to do your best anyway. Yeah, I'm off as well. Have a good sleep, son. May the work go well tomorrow for you. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a day off today, tomorrow, and on Tuesday I am back streaming some dailies, potentially the championship. Well, thank you guys for the chat, for the likes. Hope you enjoyed my dragging of the overweight Peugeot to the P5. It was alright. Good night. Bye bye.